Alright, picture this, a battlefield, but not too far in the future. You look up and the sky isn't filled with jets, it's just this relentless tide of silicon and steel. I mean, we are talking about swarms, thousands upon thousands of drones all moving together in a massive coordinated attack. The goal? Simple, to completely overwhelm any defense we have. So the question is, how do you even begin to fight back against something like that? Well, in the past, the answer was kind of simple, but also brutally inefficient. You'd have to launch these million-dollar missiles just to swat away a drone that might only be worth a few $1,000s. And that's the crucial point, right? This old way of doing things. It's an unwinnable economic game. The math just doesn't add up. You'd literally go broke long before you ever won the battle. But as we're about to see, the entire script has been flipped. Just look at this headline for a moment. From Global Times. This is the story behind today's video. How cheaply can China fend off a drone swarm with its latest microwave weapon? HPM technology has become cost-effective enough to be applied against drones in public security situations, state media report. With that said, let's go straight to the intro. This brings us right to the heart of the problem, a concept military strategists call cost asymmetry. And believe me, it's a fundamental crisis for modern air defense. This is the exact kind of thing that has kept generals up at night for years. Just take a look at these numbers. It's pretty staggering. You've got a Patriot missile which costs over $3 million being fired at a target drone that might cost, what, $20,000? One of our sources put it perfectly. It's like using a Ferrari to run over a cockroach. I mean, sure, it gets the job done, but it's completely, utterly unsustainable financially. And you know, the problem isn't just about the money, not at all. These traditional missile systems, they have a limited number of shots. So if you're facing a massive swarm, you risk something called magazine exhaustion, which is exactly what it sounds like. You just run out of ammo. On top of that, think about the logistics. It's a massive footprint requiring these expensive, vulnerable convoys just to resupply the front lines. But what if you could just change the rules of this unwinnable game entirely? Well, that's where China's answer comes in, the Hurricane 3000. And let's be clear, this isn't just a minor upgrade. We're talking about a complete technological revolution in directed energy. Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to understand a key difference. You've got soft kill and hard kill. A soft kill, well, it just jams a drone's signal. Annoying, but it can be overcome. The Hurricane 3000, though, delivers a hard kill. It blasts out this intense pulse of microwave energy that physically fries the drone's internal electronics. Basically, if it's got a circuit board, it's toast, permanently. And this is where you can really see the technological leap. If you compare it to the leading US system, the Leonis, the Hurricane has a range of over 3 kilometers. Now that extra kilometer might not sound like a lot, but trust me, it's everything. It completely transforms the weapon from a simple point defense system into a total area denial zone. We're talking about a massive, impenetrable bubble in the sky. So this tech leap obviously has some pretty profound economic implications. This isn't just a new weapon we're looking at, it's a whole new way of thinking about the cost of defense. It completely fixes that broken, lopsided equation we were talking about earlier. I mean, just look at this contrast. It's wild. We go from over $3 million per shot down to about $1. $1. Why? Because the cost is basically just the price of the diesel fuel you need to run the generator. This doesn't just change the game, it completely rewrites the entire rulebook for the economics of air defense. There's this quote from the source material that I think just perfectly nails it. It calls the Hurricane 3000 an electricity to effect converter. Think about what that means. As long as you have fuel for the generator, you have ammunition. That whole problem of magazine exhaustion? Gone. Wiped off the map. But here's the thing, the Hurricane 3000 isn't meant to be a solo act. China has integrated this incredible technology into a bigger strategy they call the Iron Triangle. It's a multi-layered system of systems approach to defense. Think of it like a 3-layered shield. Okay, so first up, you have the Hurricane 3000. It's the swarm breaker. using its wide beam to just wipe out the bulk of an attack from way out. Now, if anything gets through that, they faced a second layer, high-energy lasers that pick off survivors with surgical precision. And for anything left, well, that's what the rapid-fire guns are for, the final safety net. It's this comprehensive interlocking system where every part covers the weakness of the others. Really clever. And this iron triangle is actually a key piece of a much bigger strategic picture, a doctrine called intelligentized warfare. Now, the goal here isn't just to shoot down enemies one by one. No, it's about system destruction. The whole idea is to paralyze your adversary's entire command and control network, to blind them, deafen them before a single physical shot is even fired. But get this, China's ambition doesn't just stop at the atmosphere. Oh no, they're taking this whole concept of electromagnetic dominance and pushing it to the final frontier, space. And to really wrap your head around the scale of this leap, you just need to look at one number: 20 gigawatts. That's the power output from a new compact driver the researchers just developed. I mean, that is a colossal amount of energy. So why does that massive number matter so much? Well, because experts are suggesting that this level of power could potentially disrupt or maybe even permanently damage low Earth orbit satellite constellations. We're talking about those vast networks of satellites like Starlink that circle the globe, giving us everything from our internet to crucial military communications. Essentially, China is building an electronic firewall that extends all the way up into space. So as you can imagine, all of this incredible technological advancement is now starting to translate into real-world geopolitical and economic influence. It's positioning China as a major new leader in global defense exports. I mean, look around. Conflicts happening across the globe are showing just how vulnerable these old systems are. So naturally, nations are desperately searching for a cost-effective, high-tech shield to protect themselves. And this, of course, creates a massive opportunity. With countries all over the world scrambling for a solution, China isn't just another player in this new market. They're positioning themselves as a premier provider of this next-generation defense tech. So if there's one thing to take away, it's this. By mastering the electromagnetic spectrum, China hasn't just built a better weapon, they've engineered a complete defensive architecture. You could almost call it a force field. And it makes a lot of conventional attack methods look, well, frankly, primitive by comparison. But that leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future, doesn't it? Is the Hurricane 3000 the ultimate game changer, the final word in air defense? Or is there another breakthrough just over the horizon, maybe from another country, that could challenge its dominance? So what do you think? Is this what the future of warfare looks like? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop them in the comments below. And hey, if you found this breakdown useful, do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button for more deep dives into the tech that's shaping our world. Thanks for watching.